Okay, so here's what I'm going to use to paint my engine bay in my Roadrunner to hopefully match the color of the rest of the car. As you guys seen, whenever I got the car, the engine bay was spray bombed black. So I've got the engine out, might as well try to get it back as close to the color as I can. So like you guys, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and this is how I'm learning and getting different ideas on something I've never tried before. And painting is one of them. So I watch Jonathan Whitley from Whitley Auto Works a lot on YouTube. Great guy. We've had some correspondence via emails and stuff like that. I don't live too far from him, probably about 4 hours. My son lives up close to him, so one day I'll stop by and say hey to him. But if you don't know who I'm talking about, look up Jonathan Whitley, Whitley Auto Works. He's a fantastic guy, a lot of great ideas, does a lot of different paint colors, and I mean, he's really cool. Look him up, you're really glad you did. But one of his videos, he was painting a friend of his truck. And what got me turned on to him is I kept hearing about these Rust-Oleum paint jobs and whatnot. Well, as Jonathan will tell you, you can't get very many colors in them. So he found at Lowe's or Home Depot, I'm sure you can get it other places, I got mine at Lowe's, this Krylon Rough Tough tintable paint. So what I did is, part of the engine compartment, the radiator core support had been painted orange and it had some large flakes in it where the paint didn't stick. So I just popped up one of those flakes and I took it with me to Lowe's, and I had them color match. They took a picture of it with the camera, or whatever you call that, I don't know, to color match that chip. When I did the first one, I know you guys probably can't see on the camera, there is a slight shade difference here. It wasn't close enough for me, so I had them go in and redo it. They just used the same gallon and added a little bit more of whatever color to it, and it came out to the exact same color as that chip. So, crossing my fingers that this is going to turn out to where you really can't tell from the fender down into the inner fender on the car and the cowl to the firewall and everything. I'm hoping it comes out good. Eventually this car is going to come back apart and get stripped all the way down and whatnot, but for now I'm just trying to get it running so I can enjoy it for a little while. And as I've told y'all in another video, my son's going to use it. He's getting married, and it's going to be the car that they drive away from the chapel and all that in whenever they get married. But like a lot of you beginner painters, I'm just using the Harbor Freight HVLP gravity feed gun, and I got their little cup kit that goes with it that pops on and off. Now I have already used this with the primer, and I have the I'll put a picture of it. I think it's a Rust-Oleum primer that I picked up in advance. It's a gallon for like 60 bucks. And it did really good. As a matter of fact, you can see the fender in the corner of my camera back there on the wall. I'll do a little video on that here in a second. But according to Jonathan at Whitley Auto Works, you mix this 70% paint, 30% reducer, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he said, you have to double check, go watch his video on this, I think he said you do not use acetone. It takes a specialty reducer, so that's why I've got this. And I actually picked that up at Advance on clearance for like $3. I picked up 4 or 5 cans of this stuff, everything they had, just for future. If this works out, then I'm going to do this Charger. Whenever I get it going, that's my son's car. I'm going to do the whole car in that. So that's my thoughts anyways. But do have my mask. Got everything set up on the wall, ready to do my test paint. Now I am in my shop. It's cold outside today. This is the only day I've got to do it. Like the rest of you guys, I'm a weekend warrior out here in my shop. I work every other Saturday. This week, all I've got is Sunday. And I got up this morning and it was 38 degrees outside. So I can't open up my doors. I got a window open with a fan on it over there to try to give it some sort of exhaust. But for what little bit I'm painting, I'm not worried about all the safety stuff that you guys should be worried about. I will be wearing a mask and I will have a fan going to exhaust it out of here. I've got my heaters going in the shop. I've got it 70 degrees in here. So I'm gonna paint that fender. I'm gonna put a bunch of light coats on it. Just mist it 3 or 4 times. Check and see if it's tacky, just like everybody tells you to do before I put my next coat on. Then we'll see how it turns out. If I like it, then I'll put it into the Roadrunner's engine compartment. But let's get ready to mix up some paint and I'll show you how to do that. How I do that anyways. All right, so let's start off by talking about the mixing cups and the mixing ratio. First thing I want to let you guys know is when I was at Lowe's getting this paint, I looked at their mixing cups. And if I'm not mistaken, they were $2.48 or something like that a piece. Well, we've got a local paint shop here in town. I went down there and I got these for 25 cents a piece. So, shop around, that's what I'm trying to say. So the 70-30% mixing ratio, the best way for me to figure this out is to use the ounces on the side of the cup. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a piece of paper in here so y'all can see the ounces. Make sure I'm pointing to it right here. All right, so what I'm gonna be looking for, I'm just gonna do 10 ounces because I'm just doing spray it on the fender and that's probably gonna be more than what I need. So I'm gonna go in between the 6 and the 8. I'm gonna put me a piece of tape on the side right here and I'll put a line right in the middle of that so I know that's 7 ounces. And then I'm gonna take the reducer, that's paint. Then I'm gonna take the reducer, go up to 10 ounces, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of the hardener in it. By the way, let me grab that. All right, when I first started playing with this, I went to Tractor Supply, and I think this was 25 or 30 bucks. I've used some of it on a couple other projects. It's not car related, but you have to have this hardener in your paint. I knew I needed some more, so I went online, I looked up Krylon, went on Amazon, and I got this for $22, I think it was a can. Had it shipped to me. I didn't have to drive 30 minutes to town to pick it up. But let's put this tape on this cup so we can put our measurements right where we want them to be. I'm just going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to go in between the 6 and the 8, right in the center. So I'll know to fill my paint to that line. And then the 10 across. I'm old and blind. This will make it a lot easier for me to be able to see what the heck I'm doing. So I'll get the cans opened up, get them stirred up, pour some in. I'll bring y'all along here in just a second. Okay, so I've got my paint mixed up. 7 ounces of paint, 3 ounces of this Rust-Oleum Specialty Reducer, and then a little bit less than an ounce of the Catalyst Hardener. I've mixed it up. I actually bought some of these drill bits, mixing drill bits off of Amazon. It's a 2-pack. That works pretty good. My only concern is a lot of bubbles in the paint after you use that mixer. So I am taking a stir stick coming through here, just making sure that I don't get any bubbles in it. I don't know if that's going to have any effect on it or not. I would think it would, but just a light stir with the stir stick and I don't see any more bubbles. But this, I don't know if you can see that, is the color orange that matches my Roadrunner. And when it dries, it's almost an identical match. So so far I'm happy with it. So now I'm going to take this mixed paint, put it through my filter into my cup, and we're going to get ready to put it into the gun. Once I get it into the gun, I'll take you over to the fender and I'll discuss the gun and the pressure settings and stuff like that that I'm going to use. So bear with me just a second here. We'll pop this onto the gun. Then I'll put you on pause for a moment. That's all filtered out. Put our cap on. Make sure that it's sealed all the way down. Don't want any leaks. Put our cap on. And pop it on to our gun. Make sure we got a nice tight seal. And there we go. We're ready to get started spraying on our test fender. Let's take it over there and we'll talk about that next. Okay, so what I've done, I didn't want to get paint on my door, so I fabricated a backdrop. Just took me a piece of paneling I had. I actually put them on a couple of jack stands to raise it up to the height I want. Cardboard behind the paneling to get as least amount of paint on that as I could. But again, this is my first time painting. I have never painted at all. I should have got a video primering this. Sorry, but I didn't. But I've got it ready to paint. I'm fixing to show you the paint I'm fixing to use, how I mix it, the spray gun I use, and we're going to do the test panel before I get back to the engine bay and the Roadrunner. I just want to see how it comes out. All right, y'all stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go, guys. So again, this is the Harbor Freight purple paint gun, the cheapest thing that you can get. Everybody uses. It did come with a regulator. I did purchase the water separator on it. Make sure you get that. We've got our paint mixed up, ready to go. I am shooting this at 28 PSI wide open trigger, as they say on Whitley Auto Works. So I'm going to test the pattern, which I've done. I'm about 8 inches away from the material. You want your football shape about like that. So it looks good to me. We're going to try it. Let's mask it up and get going. First time, guys. I'm just going to do a light mist coat and let it get tacky and then come back again. Now, as you guys will notice, this is not no light coat. It came on a lot heavier than I expected and really didn't realize it at the time I was spraying this. All right, I don't know if you can call that a light mist coat or not. It went on pretty heavy. So let's let that tack up a little bit. We'll come back with the second coat. Stop. It's been about 15 minutes. It's tacked up. I can touch it. Feels sticky. Does not come off on my finger. So fixing to put a second coat on, a little bit heavier this time. See how she turns out. If y'all see this in the camera, a bug got on there. Oh well, it's a test panel. Let's see what she does. Now this coat was not any heavier than the first coat was, and it's coming out pretty thick. I've got to learn how to adjust my gun, and I'll do a bunch more practice fenders and whatnot to get a better grip on this, but I am happy how it turns out. That last one was for Jonathan. He always hits the top left. We're gonna wait a few more minutes, see how she looks. I got a feeling that's all she's gonna need. I'll bring you up close once she's dry. Here I have laid the fender that I just painted with the Krylon next to my Roadrunner front fender to kind of give you a comparison of the two. I know it's not the easiest to see, but besides from the orange peel and does not have clear coat on it, I think it's a pretty close match. All right, we've got the Roadrunner all taped off. I've got the engine bay as clean as I'm gonna clean it. Ready for primer. I gotta pick up a couple things from the paint store and we'll shoot some primer on it. See how she looks. Get ready for paint. All right, so first coat of primer. I'm sorry, third coat of primer and ready for paint. So we'll see how she looks after the engine bay is painted. Like that, baby. All right, so engine bay is painted. Got two coats. Hadn't pulled the tape back yet. Once it dries completely, I will show you. I know this is not to factory specs on how the black is supposed to be. I am going to black out the front of it, the core support. And then I am probably gonna black out underneath the frame rails right there to the back. And also where the pinch weld is on the transmission tunnel, I'm gonna tape this off in the front, then I'm gonna paint everything, undercoat it basically behind that. Undercoating on the frame rails black. So that's what the Krylon tintable paint looks like. Here's a close-up of it. It is a rough texture. I don't know if it is or not supposed to be, but it is what it is. That's what I'm doing on this one. All right, guys. Hope you like what you see. Follow along for more videos as we get this Roadrunner put back together. The next step is going to be disassembling the K-frame, cleaning it up, painting it, building me a homemade frame jig that I can just lift this car up, set the 440 on, which is right here. Oop, I guess that wasn't a very good view. And then get it set into the car. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think, what you don't think, like it, don't like it. I don't care. It is what it is, and I like it. That's what matters to me, my car. So, thanks for watching Dad's Mopar Garage, and we'll see you again next time.